Yeah, you ready? Yeah.
Do it again.
What do you think? If you didn't know it was a scam, would you accept it as proof of telekinesis, the ability to move objects through the power of the mind? The truth is that it's actually an application of science, and Kat will explain exactly what's going on.
What you saw in the clip isn't telekinesis, it's the use of static electricity. Static electricity is the build-up of electric charge on the surface of objects. Electrostatic charge can be created by the contact and separation of two materials. For example, rubbing a balloon in your hair charges it with static so that you can stick it to a wall. Or dragging your feet along certain carpets may generate a static charge which gives you a small shock when you touch something. So what has all this got to do with making a straw move? Well, a straw is electrically neutral, so when I move my finger near to it, nothing happens. However, if I were to rub this against a material, it becomes electrostatically charged. Now when I move my finger near to it, the straw's attracted to my finger. We taught this to Sean, our fake psychic, and with a little practice he was able to get the straw to spin following his finger. It may look like telekinesis, but in reality it's purely science. There's nothing paranormal or psychic about it at all, just static and some practice. The scientific explanation of the Ouija board is very simple. The people taking part are actually moving the glass themselves without realising it. This subconscious movement is known as ideomotor action. Because the movement is created subconsciously, some people are convinced that the powers of the Ouija board are real. They don't realise that they are moving the glass themselves. To create this clip, we invited a group of girls to take part in a tour of a haunted house.
Okay, we make our way into this room.
This is Richard, who was playing the part of the guide. Richard made up a haunted history of the building, which he told to the girls as he showed them around. By the time the girls were ready for the Ouija board, they were convinced that the property was haunted and were expecting something to happen. This expectation helps their subconscious generate the movement. After their tour around the house, we asked the girls who they thought had moved the glass, and this is what they said.
No, I wasn't moving the glass at all.
I didn't think I was pushing it.
I wasn't moving the glass. I wasn't moving the glass. In fact, my fingers were barely touching it at one point and it seemed to shoot across.
I genuinely thought there was something there.
As you can see, the girls taking part were convinced that they did not move the glass. It's this belief that makes it so easy to believe in a paranormal explanation. There are ways to prove that the movement is created by those taking part. In 1853, a scientist called Michael Faraday created a test to discover where the movement was coming from during similar paranormal demonstrations. We recreated Faraday's experiment with a group of 21st century young people who were able to make a glass move on a Ouija board. Faraday suggested placing layers of card on the moving item, in our case the glass. As the glass moves, the layers of card also move. However, this movement will be different depending upon where the force is coming from. If the glass was being moved by spirits, then the layers of card would be dragged along behind, sloping away from the direction of movement. To simulate this effect, we dragged the glass with a piece of cotton. However, if the movement was coming from one or more of the people touching the glass, then the layers of card would move first, sloping in front of the glass. Faraday's experiment confirmed that the force was being applied by the people touching the moving object. When we placed layers of card on top of the glass, our results matched Faraday's. The Ouija board may seem strange and spooky, but it can be explained with science. The secret is ideomotor action and expectation. It has nothing to do with the paranormal.